many people, most people really, aren't aware of where it is that they are moving from. Which makes sense, because it's actually quite a difficult thing to have a level of awareness of where it is that you are deciding to move from. Seeing as most of our lives we're moved from forces that are bigger than us, smaller than us, and just us, really. We live in a society where we are very often removed from our actual connection to self, to observe the reality as it is. And the more that we train our minds in this gross way, this sensory grabbing way, the more we find ourselves inundated with distance and disconnection. And we really find ourselves caught in a trap of feeling like we're never enough and we're never going to mount or reach or attain or achieve or be the perfect part that we want to be. When in truth, we are already as we are meant to be. We have all the skills we are needing in this moment. And when we choose to show up as well as we can, we are blessed with the ability to get better, to learn to be better, to be a part of a process of human happening through being. And that the doing that we might strive for, feel that we have to undergo, is really just a part of being. And that when we are able to be while we do, we get to learn the lessons that we are here to learn. These lessons are blessings, gifts, painful, suffering, a lot, and experiences, really and truly. They're experiences, and they are a part of a long line of experiences that we sign up for in some way or another. And the opportunity within that is to know that the part that we are to play for ourselves and for others is always changing. It is in some way contractual, and there is a purpose with it that if we were in some way needing to help share a lesson with someone else, say that we needed to help someone find self-worth, then there's so many ways that can actually play out, and that lots of different parts in, let's say that you're learning to help a friend be more empowered in their own self and their own decision making and their own ability to speak their truth. It might play out in so many different ways, but at the end of the day, it's going to play out, and you get to actually serve yourself and serve them by doing that. And when we start learning to recognize these signs, synchronicities, and ways to work with ourselves and the happening of life, we get to participate. It's like going from being on standby or idling in a game to actually now seeing, okay, I see that I have a choice. How is it that I can best show up? Now, a very big thing, an important thing to know, is to notice timing with this. To look at the timing and the way that timing plays out in your life, and to start observing the fact that things are divinely timed, even if that's quite a stretch for you, to just give it an idea, to give it a momentary pondering, and to start to see that everything you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, even intuit, is in some way working for your highest good. And there is so much more happening beyond and behind and through things than you could ever know. That 5 seconds that you take to look at the flower on the sidewalk as you're driving by, can really and truly be the difference between a car crash and getting to your destination safely. And a part of that then is to learn how to acknowledge and honor that, and really be grateful for it, because the blessing plays out through our gratitude and our ability to give thanks and to recognize, to add value to something that is happening. Because as I said, they're all experiences, and the difference between an experience and a learning is what we choose to say about that experience. How it is that we affirm within ourselves, how we work with that mind-body connection and say, okay, so I had this experience, I had this day, I had this taco for breakfast, and I found it to be just amazing, or horrible shit, no. And you see the frequency that we're actually creating with there becomes very different. When we add the level of excitement in, we're adding all of this opportunity, this freshness, this vibrancy for us to impregnate life with and be impregnated by as well. It's like a portal. There's a pouring out as we start allowing ourselves to share and receive more energy. We are able to conduit and I want to say like build a dream catcher. You know, it's but basically anything. Like if you the first time you're doing it, the first time you're making an omelet, friend's example, vegan omelet, just personal preference. You're gonna go ahead and it's gonna be new. You know, you're gonna be like you're gonna keep checking that recipe and be like, how do I do this? What is the way? And you're just gonna keep moving forward because it's that journey of doing it is its own process. You know, and the statement that you make to yourself that I am grateful and I am ready is the way that you actually start to move forward. It's a bit of a process, and then as you start moving forward with I'm ready, you start being more open. You start allowing life to move through you and realizing that it's okay. You're allowed to, you know, have your human process as a human being. In actual fact, it's a part of the whole system, and that this allowance actually allows you to start developing the skills, and that leads to a level of acceptance within yourself and trust as you start seeing it, and I start recognizing the chrysalis that's born, the space of becoming that is ever present in our life, and how it is that we start recognizing the transformation that we're moving through and saying thank you for this transformative element, thank you for this opportunity to grow, thank you. And it begins to lead you to, or me, to a space of acceptance again, you know, where now it's not just, okay, I accepted this moment, but now I'm accepting the greater process and the fact that if I keep engaging this process with gratitude, readiness, openness, and the ability to learn as I move through it, you know, there's the 3 and the 1. You know, you have those 3, I am grateful, I am ready, I am open, and I recognize that will teach me the skills that I need, and that all together creates that chrysalis of energy as the torus field merges in the center and then splits out, opens out again through the magnetic and dielectric forces, you know, the creating and the destroying. And both of those working together. Now coming back to the whole, how does that connect to the beginning of the motion? The beginning of the motion is where we're moving from, because where it is on the end of that line is determining where it is relative on the beginning of the line, and there's a line of energy between those points. Just like how if you need to teach a friend or help a friend out, there are so many different ways that you can do it because there's so many different perspectives that it can take, but it's still just those 2 points, and the relative journey is there so that those 2 points can have an actual understanding form between them. As that understanding can be formed, and it can go like that, as long as that one then goes like that too, they're then able to transmit that learning. Now the trick is to know that wherever we are along this journey, say we're here, you know, we need to get here, so we're going to move this one here, you know, if we know that we're going from this point initially and then we're becoming aware that we're actually here, all of this distance, you know, because it's in alignment with this one, starts having little teachings that, you know, we've moved through for that process. And our body is very intelligent. As we learn to dance with it more, you know, there are all these shapes that are present. And it's not about, okay, I'm going to go like that and then like kind of move it. It's I'm going to move it and then allow myself to be more mindfully aware of any small little bit of information. And that small little bit of information, it's a seed. And it's a part of the new skills that one learns, is that seed is in itself the potential that we're growing into, that we're sprouted so that we can actually like consume some of the nourishment and give thanks. Again, here's the gratitude again. I'm grateful. I'm ready. I'm open. Knowing that little piece, that little piece is enough for you to grow and move forward with. And, you know, that's the being. You know, that's the learning how to be in